Hey, beautiful people. It's me, Luda, with the Furies Pizza. And I'm here to talk to you today about my plans and how things are going and the future and how we as a community, Facebook community, physical community, and world community, how we can work together to move forward as a community in as many ways as possible. Last week on Saturday was my first zero sale day. And I kind of had a feeling it would be. I had a hopeful market crash coupon for $5 off for that day. Didn't work. Maybe it was bad humor, but I was trying to do the best I could with what we've been given. So, yeah, I was kind of actually hoping for a zero sale day because I don't know how anybody out there is feeling, but my energy feels completely drained. I'm doing my best. I'm trying different things. Just, vitamins and eating better, and all my energy is sapped. And I think that this is probably happening on a larger scale. It's affecting the collective. But I'm not letting a zero sale day ruin mine. But I am considering changing things around. So this is where I would like your input. Please comment. And even, the pizza folks that I'm friended around the United States who aren't vegan, how are you facing your demand, and are you having shortages? I know starting a business isn't going to be just people lining up trying to give me their money. I know it's a lot harder than that. And it's way harder than that. And speaking with people who are in business, that have been in business, that's their biggest piece of advice is don't count on people coming to you. Just don't count on it. Hope for it, but don't count on it. And it sounds disheartening, but we're in a time right now where starting a business is a bit of a radical act. The choice is to do nothing and let corporations take it over, because that's what's happening. So what's happening with all the farmers that are losing their farms. All of it is by design. Generations and generations of farmers are losing their subsidies. It's not just for people on welfare. Farmers, American farmers, are some of the biggest beneficiaries of aid. Now they're calling for 50% reduction in the staffing of Social Security. I don't know how many of you are on Social Security or have tried to go through the process of Social Security. If you've been wanting to and haven't done it yet, your day is almost past due. They will disassemble everything. And yeah, I'm disabled, so I do collect Social Security. You know, most of the reason for me starting this business is because I need to. I need to do it. I need to do it for myself. I need to do it for this community. I need to do it for humanity. I can't explain it. But, people are misinterpreting things. We're not getting a check. We're not. We're just not. We're not getting a Social Security check. We're not getting a benefit or a bailout check. And we certainly are not getting a stimulus check from Doge. It's not happening. And if it does, hooray. Hooray for you. Hooray for all of us. I'll donate mine. Do what you need to do to survive, to get by and be happy. But, there's a lot of people that were so happy at the election. They were so happy. Anyone who spends any time on TikTok or Facebook sees different stories. I don't enjoy the FA and find out stories. F around and find out. I don't enjoy them. But it's where you see all the heartbreaking loss of people that have put faith in this person 3 times and are now reaping what they have sown. We all have to reap what has been sown. And we all have to do what we can to stand against it. I've already suggested everyone plant a garden, no matter the size, even if it's an herb garden in a flower pot on your porch. I don't have room for a garden, but I'm making room for a garden on top of a picnic table. Yeah, I'm going to make the top of a picnic table a raised bed so I don't have to get down on the ground and try to get back up again because the neighbors would be watching with cameras. It would be like a roly-poly bug trying to get up. It's ridiculous. But this is a channel about my pizza and how we can rise together. I'm not straying off course, are you? I understand my assignment. My assignment is that together we rise. I'm putting my hand out for everyone. I don't care. I don't care if you're just now waking up and realizing what's happening. Or if you think that you're right. Show me. Show me why you're right about what is happening. Because this is fascism. Fascism 101. Systems are toppling. They're being dismantled and destroyed. There's a bill of sale for America, and it's going to overseas. I think we all know who. I know a lot of people are making up excuses for themselves, for their families, for reasons to hang on the sinking ship. The ship doesn't have to sink. We can come together. The thing that they're trying so hard is to drive us apart. But we can come together. That's what I want. That's why I'm here talking about community and starting a pizza business in the most insane time in history to try to start one, other than trying to start one in the middle of the Great Depression. They're not selling. The panicked are selling. They're buying. They're buying from the loss. The rich get richer. I just invested in Costco. I don't have the extra money, but I put $100 in for Costco. Their shares are like $900 a share. So I got like a tenth of a share, almost $1,000 a share. But it's something. If each of us takes the smallest of actions, we can turn this around. Don't sit there with your head in your hands saying, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, what is happening? There's a lot happening, but there's a lot that we can do to stand together to make it a better place for all of us. The ship only sinks if we allow it to. It only sinks if we allow it to. I'm not ready to let my ship sink. Are you? Do you have ideas of how we can move together? Because I want to hear them. And if you have channels that you follow that you think I should follow, maybe that are saying the complete opposite of what I'm saying, share them with me. I want to know all sides. I want to know every side of the situation. It's my personality. It's who I am. I go down rabbit holes. And I've gone down both sides of the rabbit hole, and only one side has an out. It's the one I'm in now. It's the one I'm talking to you about. The other one is very, very bleak. So I come to you, firstborn, child of immigrants, approaching 60 and disabled, and still starting a business, an unpopular business. Have you tried to talk to people who aren't vegans about veganism? I've never seen so many defense mechanisms go up. But you know what? I don't care. Eat what you want. But this is important. Because your meat farms are going to go down. And they're going to be corporate owned soon. Unless we stand up together. I'm not here to fight with anybody. I'm here to learn. And I'm here to share what I know. So maybe you can learn. Maybe you don't have the outlets. You don't have the resources. My resources, I follow so many various sources. Midas Touch Network on YouTube. Fantastic coverage. But they got rid of Jessica Denson, who has a Lights On that look into discrepancies in the actual numbers of voter turnout and the courses that they took that don't match up with natural voting patterns. So I'm a little disappointed in Midas Touch for ousting Jessica, but she's another resource. Maybe you don't believe in it 100%, but look at all options. Roland Martin. I have never seen anyone work harder than Roland S. Martin in my life. Black journalist, Black Star Network on YouTube. I have watched him do a 3-hour broadcast and do an interview on Legacy Media in the middle of it. The guy talks to everyone. He's talked to every person of color, of substance, across the board. He's fantastic. Tabitha Speaks Politics. Thank you, 92%. Thank you. A good reason, probably 92% of what I'm doing here is because of you, the 92%. Sorry, I get emotional. But bravo. I know you ladies are sitting this one out, and I'm standing up. This is my stand for you. Angela on Park Rose Permaculture. Follow her on TikTok and YouTube. She has a lot of followers that, because of her permaculture views and, living off the land and sourcing and saving, a lot of those are doom preppers that follow her. And we're all should be doom prepping at this point. It's not a joke. Thank you, Angela. And also there's a million new sites that have popped up and old sites that have really gained traction since the election. A lot of spiritual sites, like Karen and Ask the Spirit Guides. She ponders all of this from a spiritual side, basically for middle-aged women who aren't really, maybe they haven't followed politics or been overly spiritual. Now, notice I'm saying spiritual, not religious. There is a difference. Religion and spiritualism do not go hand in hand. Never make them let them make you feel as though you are doing something wrong because you are not religious. The Bible itself says God lives in our hearts and our body is our temple. So what does that mean? It means we have more power than we are aware of. And there's a lot more of us than there are those in power. So we have to stand up together, speak truth to power, and bring humanity to the forefront. Because we're not fighting for some invisible grandpa in the sky. We are fighting for humanity. That is how we are saved. Because there is the Christ consciousness in all of us. We all have the Buddha nature. Every prophet across time has been a human being with insight. They all tell the same story if we listen the right way. So, anyway, about the pizza. Because I had a 0 sale day and because the economy is crashing and we are going from recession to, we may hit depression territory. And that's a frightening thing. So let's build our networks now. Let's get together now. Let's build our circles. Don't disenfranchise anyone, regardless of who they voted for, because they are going to wake up. They are going to see that this is a dictatorship. It's a harsh realization to come to. It's a hard reality. It's a hard fact. Do some research. There are experts in fascism leaving the country now because it's going to get a lot harder unless we do something. We need to come together. We need to stand up. We need to Cory Booker this. And yeah, another black man, black person benefiting humanity. Come on, white people. Come on, even white men. I know so many of you that have good hearts that want to stand up against this, but so many of you are blind. Tell me, in clear words, without insult, without decrying the libteers or whatever the F you think you're doing. Trump hysteria is real. And it's the MAGA people that have it. Most of us are clear-eyed and we see what is coming for us. And we are doing everything we can to speak truth to power. We need to stand up. Billionaires will not own us. We are not for sale. My pizza's for sale. And on that note, to make things easier for everyone, I'm going to start offering frozen pizzas. So over the next few weeks, I will be getting together supplies to be able to do that, whatever permits that I need, licensing, so that people who want to buy my pizza can, whenever they want. They don't have to wait till Saturday night. I don't have to try to hold ingredients for almost a full week and then have no one buy them and just end up giving them away, or, our Food Not Bombs is disbanded at this point here that I know of. If it's changed, I hope it has. But if not, if somebody in the area wants to step up for Food Not Bombs, we need someone. I need someone to give my produce to. I would love to speak with shelters and, food banks and food kitchens, because that's part of my mission. It's not to feed hungry vegans. Although, yeah, that's a big part of my mission because of predatory veganism, and I do not want to do that. I want to offer the best I can at a price that's still fairly reasonable. And to make it more accessible, I think frozen is going to be the way to go. It's going to be less exclusive, where you can only get it one night a week, and I have mass spoilage to deal with. It's not sustainable financially or for the planet or for anyone. I'm bleeding money. I'm bleeding produce. So I'm looking to build those connections in my neighborhood, in my area, in my county, and the county next door. So anyone who wants to help, I'm looking to hire paid jobs. I need a festival crew, a pop-up crew that can pop up a location anywhere, work their asses off for 8 to 10 hours, or however long it takes to heat and cool an oven. It takes a while. But I'm hiring. I have hope. I'm planning for a positive future. And I hope that you are too. Because no one rises alone. This is the time. This is our time to stand up. I'm sick of hearing people say, oh, but I'm just one person. What can I do? I'm just one person. And I'm asking all you one people, do something to help yourselves. Even if it's, open a Robinhood account. Find stocks of products that you believe in. Research your companies. Find out the companies that support your values and put $10 in. I've heard people say, I don't have enough money for a portfolio. I can't do that. Nobody has enough money for a portfolio unless you're making at least $100,000 a year minimum. And that's if you're double income, a dink couple. I set myself up for less than $40,000 a year, and that's more than enough for me. And I might lose a third of that. If Social Security goes down, I lose a third of that. But I've had really good training. And that's where the 92% come in. They're well trained to sit this out. They've had 400 years of practice. We've been benefiting on the blood, sweat, and tears of people of color. This is our fight. We need to stand up. We need to stand up for everybody that stood up for us in the before times, as I was just wanting to say so badly. But now's our time. This I'm just one person business. Yeah, you're one person. Let yourself be known. Let yourself be heard. Spend $10 on a stock that you believe in. I took $75,000 out of the stock market. Thank goodness, just in time, because I divested all of my high-tech stocks. After the Sig Heil, it became very clear where the technocrats stood. And I am not being complicit. I am not standing by. I am not going to pay into their systems. So I took it out. And, I'm reinvesting in myself. Even if it's a sinking ship, at least I'll go down with the ship. I'm not jumping. I'm not jumping ship. You'll see me here. No, even if I'm out on the street, I'll at least keep a phone, and I will make videos and tell you what's happening. But this is about community. This is our time. It was almost divine timing for me in starting this business and starting this channel. I didn't know this is how it was going to go. But this is how I've chosen to proceed forward. Because to do anything less would be complicit, and I am nothing if I am complicit to this. I'm not going to let it happen. Not on my watch. Shit, we're Gen X. We grew up outside fixing our, going home to get our mom's sewing kits to sew our arm back together that almost got cut off because we did something stupid. This is the only generation I know of that I'm not the only person I know who has been kidnapped. My best friend, I just found out recently, one of my best friends was also kidnapped. That's Gen X. We can get through this shit. This is a fun challenge. Yeah, a fun mother effing challenge. That's what it is. That's why I'm here. So, stand with me or fall apart on your own, because that's what's happening. They're splitting us up. And they're gonna split this country up. Our parks will be deforested and mined and sold to the highest bidder. These are not environmentalists. And also, in the meantime, there is crazy stuff going on astrologically. There's some alignments that are the same alignments as the French Revolution and America coming into existence. There are much older alignments that haven't been seen in over 20,000 years, and there are some alignments that have never ever been seen before. I don't know if you believe in astrology or astronomy or any of that stuff, but there is some, the Maya, they had calendars based on cycles of 20,000 years. And, no one could understand what their shallow pools of water were all about. Why they had so many shallow pools of water in like atriums with chairs, like seating all around. It was so they could look down into the sky. It can be reflected so as not to hurt their necks. They might not have had our technology, but they had wisdom far beyond what we have in some aspects. If you listen to the indigenous peoples, there are, there have been signs from every civilization, the birth of a white buffalo signifying the time of choice, a time of, a time of an ending and a time of a new beginning. What do you want that beginning to be? You want it to be just the death of the old cycle and that's it? Where it all goes down and we all just die? Or are we going to step in to a new era together? Can just join together much closer than we are. There at the rallies on Saturday, there are millions and millions of people across the country and around the world. Not a single death, not a single fight, not a single injury. There was one. There was a man who was upset about having to wait for the protest across the street, and he felt it necessary to get a gun out of his car. Why? What are you afraid of? What are you afraid of? Afraid you can't diddle little girls anymore? Afraid women are going to stand up for themselves? Is that what you're afraid of? Wake the fuck up. Now is the time to wake up. This is our fight. Are we going to stand or are we going to lie down? Together we rise. Together we stand. Divided we fall. So, I won't be doing pizza on Saturdays anymore, but there is going to be an Earth Day event with a forum on community and community gardening. More details will come as it progresses. We will sell tickets and it will be a pizza event. So I certainly hope that people in the area can come and join me and support the Vegan Center, Project Vegan 716, and support my business, The Furies Pizza, and support each other in love and in community, not in hate and in division, because we will fall apart as a nation if we continue with this. When it says in the Bible that we need to turn the other cheek, I know so many people who are unfriending left and right on social media. That is not the time to do that. It's the time to quit baiting each other. We need to stop baiting each other but we need to continue to support each other, because this road is leading the same place. Not everybody realizes that. Some people realize it only when they get there, like all the farmers making videos about their lost farms. I don't want to see you on TikTok crying about your lost farms or your lost business or your lost family of measles or anything else. I want to hear what you're doing to make a difference, to move forward together. Together, not separated. Divided we fall. Divided we fall. And we are falling. So reach your hand across the aisle, across the street. Just reach out. I'm doing my best to understand why people are still behind this and supporting this. So please, I welcome your questions and your comments, not your insults, keep that to yourself. But how can we move together? How can we come together when we've been so deeply divided? How can we come together? I'm trying. I'm doing this. And I'm open to learn. Tell me how. Tell me why. Why? What is this doing for you? Anyway, if you're local, I certainly hope that you take the time on Earth Day to come and support some great businesses in our great little town of Tonawanda, New York. Right on the edge of Erie County, across the bridge from Niagara County. A lot of deep, deep red around here, especially going north. But how? How can we move together forward? How can we do that? Because I don't see it happening. We have to have these hard conversations. We need to talk to our neighbors. Somebody told me they don't like to argue about politics, and I'm not looking for an argument. I'm looking for clarity. I'm looking for a conversation. I'm looking to learn. I'm looking to figure out what it is that is so appealing about what's happening. What is so appealing about the end of DEI to the point where they are ending carrying products? A school teacher. Take down everyone is welcome here with different color hands. You realize there's different colored people, don't you? And that they live among us, and that they will live among us, and that you cannot control the will of those people. You cannot. No. Not enough people freaking cared when it was time to care at the voting box. And also, I have my suspicions. And also, why in the world would any elected official say that they planned it so well, they won by so much because some ignorant billionaire who got his money on the backs of people suffering in apartheid? You think he wants to help you? He made his fortune on the blood, sweat, and tears of people, the disenfranchised. And if you're not a billionaire, you probably can get away if you're a millionaire, but they're not for you. We're the help. We're the help running this country because they can't do it without us. If it was up to me, I'd say let's plan a general strike. And I don't even have a freaking algorithm. I haven't gotten far enough to get an algorithm. So if they want to tamp it, fine. But if as many people show up for a general strike as showed up for the hands-off protests, we, the people, can come together and make change. Let's make it a country that we want to live in. I don't want to live in division. I don't want to live in hate. I want to live where people respect me for my decisions, or even just leave me alone about my decisions, you know? Let me live my life, you live yours. But let's do it together. Because the way we're doing it now is not helping anyone. No one except the technocrats and the oligarchs and the holders of the marionette strings. So, I've been rambling on for a while now. If you stuck through it this whole time, thank you. I'm so grateful for your time and for your attention. Please like, share, subscribe. I don't know, give me a super sticker, because I'm not benefiting from this in any way. But, you know, if you want to help me in this mission to carry it forward, it'll let me know that someone cares. Someone's with me on this. All right. Remember, no one rises alone. We're all in this together. Together we rise. So let's get rising. I love you all.